work, there's that duality, that dance of light and dark, you know, much like Bruce and Batman. It's that age-old conversation of like the duality of man. We're not monolithic, we're not just one thing, but I think overall that character represents, you know, a lot of us. I'm Hebru Brantley, artist, painter, nice guy. All right, let's answer some questions. Let's see what we got. Boom. What is your favorite thing about Batman? Oh man, there's so many good favorite things about Batman. I would say the costume, right? Because that's your barrier to entry. You know, his appearance. I think all of his costumes over the years all have their, you know, certain level of iconography to them. I think they're all fantastic. I would say my favorite costume to this day would be Keaton's '89 costume.
Nice outfit.
It's still so iconic to me. I think it was, you know, the time I saw it, I was so little, and it was the first time obviously seeing Batman on the big screen, and it meant so much. How has Batman inspired you in your art throughout the years? Again, Batman is life, and life is Batman. No, I think that, you know, for me, obviously growing up a big fan of comics, a big fan of cartoons, my appreciation for animation, like I had Batman the Animated Series to come home to every day, and I think that really pulled me into the world in a way that the comics hadn't, and it just made me go back to the comics and appreciate them more and made me a lifelong fan, you know, of the character. What role do comics play in your art? Comics play a huge role in my art. A few years back, I did a series called the Negro Mythos, so basically appropriating a lot of famous comic book characters that were, you know, always sort of viewed one way, and I you know, try to create the discussion of like, what if they were African American descent, right? Black and brown people, as opposed to the usual Caucasian folks. That was sort of my entry point into bringing those universes, those narratives, those characters into my art, and I think it was a pretty successful series of work. What does Batman mean to you? You know, when I think about the character, I have so many fond memories growing up, you know, around him, around the character, around the narratives, whether that's, you know, forming new friendships with kids that I find out are into the same things, or, you know, introducing people to the animations, the films, and so forth. You know, a few years back, I took my whole team, we rented out a theater to watch the latest Rob Pattinson Batman. That's just how real it gets. We stopped work to Batman. Is there any particular comic or comic artist that has inspired you over the years? Abso-freaking-lutely. Jim Lee, Todd McFarlane, Eric Larson, and Arthur Adams. I'm a storyteller, I think, in my work, and a lot of that comes from, you know, the stories I grew up reading, which was in comic books. And, you know, the art that I do is inspired by the guys that helped, you know, pen those stories and illustrate those stories. What does it mean to you to be able to reinterpret this iconic cover? Touching any bit of Batman history is an honor for me, because just of how far it goes back in my life, you know, and how much I love the character and the characters of this world. So to be asked to do something like this kind of is a dream come true. I'm Hebru Brantley, artist, painter, all around badass.